Miguel, welcome back to Rebel Ants Radio. How are you today?
I'm good, man. What happened with that intro?
I don't know. Just kind of looped itself out, and here we are. We're just going to roll with it.
You're usually very, upbeat about it. What happened?
I don't know. I hit the play button, and it sort of didn't play, but that's okay. That's okay. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk with Tom and Aaron in a little bit because we had like a 20-minute chat with them at the end of last week, and I felt like we could have kept going. So we're going to
absolutely. I think so.
Yeah. You have turned into a jealous little baby over the last hour. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, go ahead. It's your fault.
It's my fault. I came across this project called the Ant Republic at the Ant Republic. I don't want to plug them too much, but they're ants and they're doing things, trying to build a community just like us. And I think you've got to accept that there's other people out there who like art that is in the form of ants. And there's other people that want to build a community. Can you accept that?
No, I refuse.
No, it's just you. You've got the monopoly on ants. Well,
I do.
You're gonna have to get over it because there's other ant projects out there that we've seen.
That's fine. I'll get over it. Give me a few days. I'll get over it.
Yeah, you got mad that I tweeted at them, so
I did get mad.
Anyway, we invite you to head over to rebelants.io where you can mint your very own Battle for the Colony Ant for 0.005 ETH and join the colony. So big things to come once we get all those minted out and sold out. So we appreciate everyone's support along the way. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. If you got a nightcap going on, if you got a little drink that you're keeping you company, let us know what it is. I got water. Miguel, what do you got?
Water today.
Water.
No vodka today.
No vodka. Good for you. Weaning off it. All right, let's get these guys in here. Let's get this show started.
Get them in.
And we got to fix that. Hold on. Let's throw Aaron in there. Bam. And we're gonna add Tom in there, and we are good to go. Gentlemen, can you hear and see us?
We can.
Welcome. How are you?
Welcome, guys.
Good.
I ruined it already. Yeah, you guys sound good. Hey.
So the big question on everyone's mind, is it Nevada or Nevada? Which one do you say?
Nevada.
Nevada.
For me.
Yeah.
Nevada.
You all say it that way. Wow. Okay. And what about data or data?
Data.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I'm glad there's some consensus here.
That might be the only time we all agree.
Yeah, all right. Let's see.
It's all downhill from here. So did anyone have like an amazing Bitcoin halving experience that they want to share?
I don't think anything happened. Am I wrong in thinking anything happened?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing happened.
Coins are up.
Great.
So I sat on some. I didn't sell that Bitcoin I got from selling that Promethean, so it went up. That was good. So,
cool. Now it's time.
Yeah, that's good. I think it was a little bit that Y2K feling where it was like, what's going to happen? But just like Y2K, nothing happened. So.
Did you hear about people that were bidding on throwing ridiculous amounts of gas for the first block for Satoshis?
Yeah. What was that? Somebody put like a few $1,000s in, right?
So I heard $500,000. It was like $500,000.
$400,000. Yeah.
Yeah, well, something ridiculous to have that first block be. I think it was a rune. They're doing runes off of that first block. Yeah. So I mean, it's cruising, but I look at moments like that and I'm like, I'm too smart to be in this culture.
yeah. That's like one of those must be nice sort of thing, right? It's like you could have bought
I don't get it, guys.
Cars, houses.
I try to get a runes from Magic Eden yesterday and just kept going around in circles. It wouldn't let me mint it. Like it was crazy.
Is it because they actually don't error on buy? Maybe you bought 10 of them and you don't know, because I'm pretty sure that they don't error out. They just take a really long time, right?
You got stuck in the mempool, right? Yeah. So your transaction got stuck in the mempool. No one was picking it up, right? It just said
yeah, forever.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Let's do a couple of quick intros. Aaron, you want to let us know who you are, what you do, and then we'll pass it over to Tom?
Yeah. I kept it relatively short when we chatted this last week. I'll go a little tiny bit deeper because I think we have a little bit of time. So I build stuff. So I'm technical. I've been technical, like leading dev teams for 11 years now. So a while. I worked at AWS. I did a stint there. Then I worked in corporate. I worked at Encore Capital, Sharp Healthcare in risk and compliance. But I was always building tech teams behind, kind of on the side, building tech. Built infrastructure for Clayton way back. Got a big grant from them to build out what is like super simple today, like snapshot tooling. But back then it was not everybody had it, right? They wanted to keep up with Ethereum. After that, I ended up launching a couple of projects. I've been fully doxed forever. Ended up getting into the Ethereum ecosystem a little bit more, moved into more, obviously Clayton was EVM compatible. Built out, raised some money, built a startup. It was a gamified mentoring platform. So after that, got into Web3 loyalty. That was called Clout Chain. I think I'm wearing the shirt right now. Wound that one down. And while we were fundraising, I met Sam, my current founder at MintPass, and our co-founder, and stars aligned. I was technical. He wasn't. He was a VC. He was thinking about coming in our round. Ultimately, it didn't work out, but here I am now at MintPass. In the interim, I built out cool stuff with really cool people. I have, other than MintPass, which is a gamified rewards platform, I have a like SocialFi-esque skill-based gaming platform called Fantasy Friends. I built Quarter Machine here with Tom. I've worked on quite a few projects. If you ask around, I've probably dipped my toes in it at one point. But yeah, we have a few more projects launching this year that I wish I could tell more about. So
you sound really busy.
I'm having fun.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Well, I quit corporate. I think we talked about this. I quit a couple of years ago. 2 years actually, this April. So, it's I get to build things that I want to build now, and with people that are a lot smarter than me. So it's been fun.
And was Ethereum appealing to you from a developer standpoint to say like, okay, this provides a platform to build actual applications on versus, Bitcoin, which isn't as much meant for that?
I'd say Ethereum price-wise isn't sustainable, right? And this is something that I've seen, like, we could, in theory, see, like, if Ethereum was a business, they would acquire something like Arbitrum, right? They would acquire one of the layer 2s. But it's way too expensive to build directly on Ethereum these days. But it obviously was built to build apps on, right? So if we build on the layer 2s, makes sense. Eventually we'll be building on layer 3s because the layer 2s are going to get too expensive. But as of right now, Ethereum makes the most sense to build on. I love Solana when it first came out, but now it doesn't hold out.
Yeah. All right, very good. Tom, what's your origin story?
My origin story. So we'll keep it very like Web3 oriented. So the project that I work for is part of the project that Aaron, partial owner and built the tech side. It's what he calls his baby, and that's Quarter Machine. So it's like a gamified minting experience. You call it your baby every time we talk.
Yeah, the physical machine, because it was such a cool thing we put together. But I'll let you go.
It is, yeah. No, so it's just like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it behind me, like the old school quarter machines. You put in quarters, you turn the handle, and a capsule comes out with like a toy or a tchotchke in it. Aaron built that where it is NFTs. Instead of coins, you put in cryptocurrency, Ethereum, and then out pops a randomized NFT. We were one of the 8 booths in, VCon's first show. We had a monstrous line. It was just super fun, super cool tech. I hate saying it because it's super cliche, but it bridged the gap of like that. You love it. That Web 2 to Web 3, like physical minting experience, and it was totally gamified. So that's my big push. I do this community operations stuff for that project. There's also an NFT project that's very closely tied to it with the other founder, Sean Duras, big YouTuber. Part of his brand and the overall arcing space station that he oversees the company. There's another YouTube channel called A for Athletes, his daughter's channel. They took like her adventures on YouTube. She's running at like 6 million subscribers on YouTube. They take some of her adventures and animate them, and some of the NFTs from the NFT project of Quarter Machine live within the world of Adley. So it's a cool little we're all very kind of synergy driven, and like everybody's kind of like picking each other up in that regard for like how that community and the company and the brand run. But I very much am super passionate about the standalone too. So
yeah. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole, and I ended up on that YouTube channel where, like, each video has at least like 1 million views, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel very crypto, because crypto doesn't really get 1 million views on things, right?
Yeah.
So, is that part of the business model though, that there's revenue generated from the YouTube channel and then some of it goes back to the NFT holders?
Yeah, you got it. So, let me kind of skirt that really quickly. That's
not for tax purposes, of course.
Yeah.
So it's if your NFT is in one of the videos, you get a flat reward.
Okay.
Rewards.
So it has nothing to do with the royalties earned on the video, or so how much is earned on the video.
But yeah, it's cool. It's also one of those things that while the company retains all the IP rights to those things, there's like a fun little licensing agreement that we have in our T's and C's that allows
so fun. Everybody loves reading.
Everybody loves terms and conditions, right? It's cool because like you get to, if you're a holder, look like, especially if you have kids. So like our general audience of like holders are like my age people. They are dads, and like they know of the project because of who our founder is and who is tied to and where the assets run. So it's a fun kind of like family experience where like, even if you don't get featured in an episode, you get to know like, oh, I know who holds that boot or coin or dinosaur, whatever it is that winds up in obviously like a very kid friendly animated series. It's pretty cool. It's super unique too. That's why like originally I was on board. And funny enough, before Aaron even joined to build this, he was one of the original minters for Quarter Machine.
I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Quarter Machine sounds super cool. How do I become an investor? How do I get in
investing? I don't know. For all financial advice, refer to Aaron.
It sounds really cool though. I really like that idea.
Well, we're on all obviously secondaries right now. There's no new collections coming out. The assets that I talked about being featured in those animated series, there's 3 of those collections, varying sizes, but all of our collections together are under 2,000 assets. So very small as far as like a community, and like we have a lot of like larger, like very whale holders. But there's also a really fun collection that we're building out that's been out since launch too. Just like a regular quarter machine, when you put in your quarter, you come out, you get a toy. There's also the capsule that's tied to the asset.
Cool.
And what we did, or what Aaron did, was make the capsule collection, which we wanted to use and have used a handful of times for, I don't want to use the word raffle, Aaron.
You can, because we had raffles. You could
mail in.
Yep.
So yeah, based on the color of the capsule that you get, we get to raffle off certain things, prizes, experiences to people that are those holders. So it's like you buy one, you get a free NFT. And that was the whole idea, is to kind of build up the ecosystem that Space Station's built with everything that's underneath that umbrella to, again, become more synergistic and like use the paths that they've kind of carved to help and facilitate like, I don't know, just like a value to our holders. So yeah, there's a lot of fun, unique things that we're trying to do.
So who creates the collection for you guys? You guys have an artist, a group of artists?
Oh, good question. So all the assets are 3D rendered, sculpted, rigged assets. Space Station itself, because of them being featured in animated series, we have a full stack animation studio that's underneath the Space Station. So that's called Space Station Animation. You might have actually seen Adley's channel when you were searching, but all those videos are also cross-posted to a channel called Space Station Animation, and I think they just surpassed 100 million subscribers. Wow. Or not 100, I'm sorry, 100,000 subscribers.
Still impressive.
It's still good. Yeah, no, it's really good. They kill it.
We're just pushing past 1,000, so we're like catching up to them a little bit.
Like right there again. Yeah, no, you guys are awesome. But yeah.
So when you have an animation studio that you work so closely with, do you get to just like tell them, hey, this is my new idea today, like go animate this? Or is there a long funnel?
I'm not privy to a lot of the way that works, only because of where I obviously I work remote, so I'm in New York. The rest of that team is based out of Utah. But a lot of it's already pretty much directed because it comes from Adley's previous adventures. So where those videos were originally like family vlogs and pretend play, they just reimagine it. They have a storyboard artist who goes through, literally recreates like the episode in kind of like a beginning to the end storyline. And then there's guys that do the sculpting, they do the rigging, and then there's animators, and just they absolutely kill it.
So cool.
Yeah. It's a really cool streamline.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So NFT wise, I think all three of you are part of the Yuga ecosystem, right? You guys are holders of something that you talked about. Aaron, are you? Nope. You're out.
I want to be, but I'm not.
What's that poster behind you, Aaron?
This one?
Yeah.
This is Quarter Machine. That is something I can't talk about on this, but give me a week. And then I have Goblin stuff behind me. Which,
okay.
Yeah. And I have some other stuff.
You guys, on your show, The Break, which you stream to Twitter most days, you had talked about getting out of the Goblin game, right? You took down.
I'm wearing a Goblin Town shirt.
Yeah, you're wearing a Goblin backyard up here. I'll probably change my PFP. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing.
What was the interest in getting into Goblin Town, and then where are you now that maybe you're stepping away from it a little bit?
So let me preface with like my Goblin. I was looking at them for so long. I was looking at them prior to Aaron getting into it. They knew I wanted it, and it was like a year and 3-4 months ago. Aaron actually bought me my first Goblin. We were doing. We were. You all remember the Utah.
Price?
Yes, 0.7, 0.6.
Yeah, it was right around 0.7. It was 0.66. I remember.
Yeah, I remember too. But yeah, I was eyeballing, and it's funny, with assets that I tie to my own personal brand, I'm very hyper specific. So it was not a floor Goblin either. So, but I didn't even pick it. Aaron picked it. It was in my wallet. We were all sitting in a room, doing we were doing like our company kickoff for that year in Q1. And I saw it hit my wallet, and I was like, "Oh, I think there's a Goblin in my wallet." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." And it was just cool. But the original allure to it was like, I love memes. Like, I love culture. I will live and die on the hill that like I think culture in this space will drive nearly every project to either success or failure. Being plugged in will bring you miles and miles in this. So when I saw what Goblin Town was doing or not doing, that everybody else was following, I love that. Like I there was a lore to it, and I thought it was funny, so it made me laugh. I think that's why I wanted to be in it. But yeah, that was it for me.
Yeah,
funny story.
Sorry, you're leaving. Yeah, I think the original question was why we're thinking about leaving it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know why you got into it, and I still have like faith in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like the association of people with it aren't what it used to be, right? And I'm not buying into anything that they're doing. I didn't burn. They had like a burn for equity. I didn't feel obligated to do it. And so it's like, okay, it's just time. For me, it's not super duper negative. It's just like I want a different thing to represent myself. It's not as recognizable as it once was, and
right,
they don't have that weight. And it's not that they have to have a high floor price to have that weight, right? Like cool art's cool art to me.
Well, that's why I thought the meme of it going to zero was all part of the fun and culture to it. Yeah, it's like, when do we go to zero? Like, we know we're going to zero, so it was just funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. You know what's funny? That you mentioned that it made you feel good and you laughed about it, and that's what lured you into it.
Yeah.
Same thing with me and Dogecoin. Like, I laughed so hard on those memes that I had to just join the community. Like, it was insane. So I ended up buying so many Doge, it was crazy, just because it made me laugh. And I've mentioned this in like a whole bunch of other podcasts, how Doge is very dear to me because it just made me laugh in a time when I really needed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love, for the same reasons, I love Sprotos, and I love the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu community. They're super funny. They're all ridiculous.
They had a good little get together. I also liked the other one we went to in the church at NFT NYC. Taproot Wizards.
Yes.
Taproot Wizards.
Taproot. Oh,
they had such a good event.
Did you guys make your way to that?
Say again?
No.
Did you guys go to that event?
No.
It was just in a church. So you roll up in your Uber or you walk, and it's just a gated church. They actually, I think they were going through the Luma tickets. So like it was accessed via your whatever your login, whatever it was. You don't have to be a holder. At the front gates, you go through, you walk into the church, you can hear like church music throughout the whole thing, and there's just a box of wizard's hats. So you check your coat, and then you put on a wizard hat, and you walk up like this staircase, and you enter like this big grand hall that's the church, and there's people serving food and stuff, and everybody has a wizard hat on. And it was just awesome. It was just so good. Just so ridiculous.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Miguel didn't go to any events, I think, at NFT NYC.
No, thanks to you.
He was being an old. Come on, you could have gone to the Pudgy. You could have gone to the Doodles. You chose not to.
That's true.
I went to the Bodagos one because I watched the Nifty morning show every day, basically, and I was like, I got to get to that party. It's in New York City, so I bought a Bodago NFT just so I could get into the party.
Wow.
And I was like, I'll just sell it after. I just want to get to the party, but I like being part of that community. I feel like I'm supporting like the thing that I consume, on a daily basis. So
do you mind if I grill you on this for a hot minute?
Yeah.
Aaron, watch Aaron's face as this happens. What about that community do you like?
So it's the show. I watch that show every morning. Well, that one show. There's other shows that are on that. I like. You mean like why do I like that show, or why do I like the people within the Bodagos community?
I'm going to break down the question. Show first.
Yeah. Okay. I like the show because I think about the 80-20 rule with them, where it's like some episodes, some shows they do, it's like 80% crypto, 20% bullshit, and some episodes are 20% crypto and 80% bullshit. Yeah. And I just like that balance. I like that they're able to kind of just spoof on themselves a lot, right? The choose rich meme and everything that Nick has been pushing. They're really falling into that. I like that. They also have some really interesting hosts on the show. They've got this guy Spencer from Spencer Ventures, who's super knowledgeable about the space and kind of gives a different perspective than I hear elsewhere, and I like hearing that. And then you've got Easy, who is another host on the show, who's really knowledgeable about tokens and games, and along with one of the other hosts, Kix. So I don't know. I feel like I get something out of each of those hosts, whether it's entertainment or knowledge. And it's it's like on at a good time for me. And when I sit
the
down,
morning's great. I love morning shows. I don't want to listen to Twitter Spaces, all throughout the day. But all right, the next question, the follow up about the host. Do you think that they're satire on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
No? Oh no. I think they lean into
don't.
that. I think it came out by accident because there's always like this bickering between Nick and Pio, the hosts, where like Pio's trying to do like a real radio show, and Nick is just like the opposite of a yes end kind of guy. He's like a shoot everyone down and kind of shit on everyone. Yeah. And I can tell that it frustrates Pio, but they roll with it. They go along with it, and they try and turn that into positive content. So I think from that standpoint, I enjoy it.
We were at more than one NFT NYC event where we saw at least one of the people from that show, and I was like, I'm ready to leave. I can't.
Hey,
I give you credit. I can't do it. I just don't. Yeah. God bless you. I hope you like it.
That's okay. In my talk, I gave a talk at NFT NYC about imposter syndrome, and in that talk, I said, "Hey, we're not trying to be the Nifty Morning Show. We're not trying to be Rug Radio. We're not trying to be, Yuga Labs. So, we're not trying to aspire to be like them, but I think it's entertaining, and there's some nuggets of information to pull away from there.
Do you get alpha from it? Ever? Do you ever get alpha? I feel like the bigger shows, they don't have alpha anymore, right? It's because they have so many listeners.
Yeah, honestly, 2 years ago, they would say hey, what mint do we think is happening? That's interesting, and I would flip that. I would buy it and then flip it, within a couple of hours, and it was small gains, but it was still something interesting to follow along with. But they don't even do that anymore.
See, I don't think legally they can, but there are also, and they're not Nifty shows. They don't fall under like the Nifty umbrella. But there are shows of people that I follow on Twitter that do those. I don't need to say names, but they were pushing what the hell coin was it? DeCicco, and they're still pushing it. So if you follow any of that crap, I hate that bag pump like live. It makes me furious because it's like. Yeah,
I get that. They don't push the Bodago NFT that often. Like rarely, honestly, do they? And they're conscious of that. I think about doing things to pump their own bags like that. So I kind of appreciate that separation. Unlike on our show, we're like, go to Rebel Ants.
Go buy some ants.
Go buy an ant, maybe 3, 4. You're gonna want many.
Go buy it.
Straight up financial advice. You don't even have to do any research. I'm doing it for you. Get your ants.
No, he's not. He's kidding.
Yeah. JK.
LOL.
Joking. Hey, did you guys?
I will say this. Oh, sorry. I don't want to cut you off, but when you were saying like you feel like you own the ants, I felt that in your like in like the cold. Only because like we've gone to other places for Quarter Machine and people are like, oh, like I think I've heard of like an NFT vending machine, and I'm like, no, you haven't. You haven't heard of one like this. So I respect that. Like if there's another NFT project, you're like, they're just
right?
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I'm an ant holder now too. I'm part of the colony, baby.
Welcome.
Exactly.
Give me the other. Tweet out the name of that other ant project, and I'll block them. Just let me know. I'll report them too. I don't even care.
I already did. I already blocked
it. So, okay, yeah. So, question about Mint Pass, Aaron, because
for sure
I'm in the hospitality world. This is my full-time job is hospitality. So anything related to travel and crypto is interesting to me because I'm always thinking about ways to bridge that gap. So. What's the story of Mint Pass? Where is it going? Because I've signed up. I'm responding to those emails. I'm dropping pins on maps. I'm trying to play along here.
Yeah, and you probably should, given we went through Outlier, which if you follow the companies that go through Outlier, which is like probably the top Web3 like accelerator program, almost all of them end up doing some sort of token. So I'm not hinting at anything here, but sure. So this is what I'm supposed to say.
Next week.
No token. So, but that all said, I put it this way, right? Like when I travel to places, everybody always gets souvenirs, and we've seen things in the Web3. The Web3 version of this is POAP, right? And I remember my experience with POAP, which is also kind of what drove like the Quarter Machine build, right? It was a memorable experience at an event. But I remember the one for Wolf Game. I remember being so excited that Wolf Game was going to be at VCon, last year? And I go there. They had some beanbag chairs and one of the NFC chip scanner things like standing up on this like little pole. And that was it. And I was like, this is, can I swear? Like, can I swear on this?
Please do.
I was like, this is fucking terrible. And like, I was like, this is one of the worst experiences I've ever had with any brand. Haven't touched that ecosystem since at all. Like I was so turned off from it. It was really bad. And so Mint Pass takes in, the bad of Web3, like that's a big problem in Web3, but also travel. All right. So travel, like when you try to get a recommendation from someone, it's very old school. You like call them or you ask your friends who have been there and you're like, hey, like, any cool spots in Tokyo. Right. And there's not really a good way to digitize that. A lot of the people we were chatting with when we were doing our user interviews were telling us like they use Google Notes and things like that.
Right.
And so we wanted to combine like the souvenir aspect with the recommendation aspect, but reward the people that were actually making those recommendations. And so thusly Mint Pass was born. And the way that I frame it is a little bit different than Sam, the co-founder, frames it. But I call it Travel Recommendations Reward Network. So if somebody takes your recommendation, you get rewarded. So we set it up so that we want this to be the link in bio for travel influencers, right? So we're in alpha. We're about to go into beta in a week or two. We've learned a lot already. One of the biggest learnings for us in alpha was how expensive Google was. So we had to rebuild that back end. They're so expensive. And then like the initial out the gate is going to be getting those digital souvenirs. We have a whole auto logging experience if you're open to it. So you don't even have to do much. That was the big thing for us was like, I use a travel app. I want to enjoy my travel, not spend some time in this app on my phone. Right. And so we built out this whole pretty cool like auto logging experience where you just have to tab and be like, oh yeah, I was here. And it'll verify that you were there if you're willing to share your location with us. Similar to Pokemon Go, except it happens in the background. and you can manually log. It's all supposed to be super quick. You have a traveler score, which you earn points to, right? And in the next iteration, you'll be able to book through the platform and make those recommendations. And we're hoping to have that in the next few months. So launching in the App Store probably next quarter. We're really, really close. Wow. And if you want to get into beta, if you guys are iOS or Android, we can stay on after and I'll get you guys into beta. You can use it.
Beta me for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
How do you juggle all this? Like, how do you, because you have so many projects going on at the same exact time. Like, how do you juggle all this?
So yeah, that's a good question. I think I've been lucky in my career. I have been, not I think, but with the people that I work with, if they understand me, and like Sam is very understanding, Tom is, like, I remember even my corporate jobs, like they didn't, as long as they would turn a blind eye to what I was doing. But with Sam, I've been like, look, I'll end up doing this. This will be my full-time thing. I'll spend 40 plus hours on it, but I'll always have my little things on the side. And that's what, like, I've always done a lot of things, I think, is how it goes. And if I don't do that, I get like antsy, I think is what it is. And I don't know, I've just gotten good at it. So I like building things, and like I have these things that I want to build, and I hate people that were ideas people. I hate those types of people. Like, I got a million ideas, I wish somebody would build it. So it's like, I'm just going to build the things I have. And then I find people to sort of either run them or do what I can't given my time constraint. I'm all in on MintPass, right? That's like my main jam, is the way I put it. And then everything else, I have like other leaders that are kind of taking a hold of them. And I do the tech and give advice and help with the deck and do some cool stuff. A couple of other things I'm working on that you can find if you dig around, or we have like the NFT Arcade, which is an NFT marketplace for scale. Yeah, and we're going to tie all their hubs together. I've got a game coming out that I think has been publicly announced now with Clementine's Nightmare. So similar to Quarter Machine, I was a holder. They held a town hall. I went and chatted with them. So I'm running a games team over there. Nice. I enjoy it, right? I think that's what it boils down to. If I didn't enjoy it, then I wouldn't be able to do this. But like, I get excited when Monday hits, which is the craziest thing ever, because I get to have all those meetings and chat and see progress and, you know, watch it come to life. So I like getting products at market, but I also like improving them. So I don't like build and dip. I stay. And so I'm pretty selective with who I work with. So
it's because you love what you're doing. So you don't have that sense of time, I guess.
Yeah. And healthy habits, right? Like, I work out every day. That always helps. I've been making a big effort this year to sleep more, which I wasn't doing. Like, I was doing all-nighters pretty regularly, but like, I think in my 30s now, like, should probably focus on sleep a little bit more. And then like cutting out time to make sure like you're hitting those social check boxes, right? Like, I'm married, so I at least have to hit that checkbox every once in a while. So yeah. So
we should do this every like Sunday night, and then Monday night and Tuesday night. We don't even have to go live anymore, guys. We can just hang out.
Yeah, but everybody has their own thresholds, and that's what I tell people. Like, my threshold for work is I literally could wake up, work, and go to sleep and be happy. But other people need that like decompression time. I love what I do. So
that's pretty cool. I think Kevin and I don't sleep at all.
Get some sleep.
I usually text him around 11, 10, and then he'll text me around 4 a.m, and I respond right back to him.
What?
It's crazy.
You guys need to sleep. I'm telling you, it'll change your world. I have sleep apnea, and I have insomnia. I got diagnosed when I was 2 years old, and I figured out a way to sleep. Like, you just have to keep working at it, but you guys need to get on regular sleep schedules. It'll feel so much better.
I've tried. I just can't do it.
I know. It took me years.
You know what it is? That is just Kevin and I doing all these things that we're doing now. And it's kind of tough because we have the social medias to run. You know, we have the IG, the TikTok, the drawings. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's just me and him. So we gotta find some more people to help us. That's what we have to do.
You guys don't have the tech either, right? You mentioned that on the last call.
No, we usually just kind of learn on and just do it.
Yeah, I loved hearing that you guys use Webflow. So for non-tech teams, I say Webflow or Bubble, and then you're ahead of the game, right? Don't build a Wix website. Well, if you need tech help, let's chat after the fact. So happy to hear what you guys are.
Yeah, Aaron's got time that he can squeeze it.
You know, I love Webflow. I played around with Bubble for a while for a personal project that I was trying to build, like a meeting notes app.
Yep.
And, you know, the no code side of Bubble was very appealing. And I got pretty far on my own without any, real background. But then I was looking at Builder, which is like another no-code platform, and they've really leaned into Web3. And so we had thought about maybe building some sort of application on there. Some of the apps or some of the projects we've seen use like, hey, if you have an NFT, you can go onto the site, connect your wallet, and change the background or something, kind of continue to evolve your image. And I think Builder is probably a good platform for that. But it's just like, a whole nother thing that we haven't really set time for. But yeah, we'd love to, get somebody with some development skills to help us move our thing along.
Builder's cool. I'm looking at it now. My thing is always how you get people back. So like you need to find somebody technical, me or not, like find somebody technical that will justify the business case, right? And I think that's what a lot of teams miss is like, how do I get somebody back? I was working with another team and they're creating something very cool data play. And I won't give info on what it was, but it was a simple, like I'd come and do it once. And how do I get like, how does the user come back? And we ended up talking with a couple of chains about grants. And that was always what they honed in on. Like the user will come and they'll do this and then they'll see like where they're at. And then why do they come back? And so you always have to have that ecosystem. And so for Tom, I know it's community. What do you guys want people to come back for? Is it the community or are you guys trying to do a tech play? I'd love to know. And sorry, I feel like I don't mean to take over. But
it's yours.
No, it's fine. Oh, you want to take that, Kevin, or?
No, go ahead.
Oh, so you know what it is that Kevin and I are very tech savvy too. At the same time, we're like sponges. So for me, for example, like I love to learn. So even when I don't know how to do something, whether it's coding or whatever, I will figure it out. Like you can ask Kevin. Like since the beginning that we started this, we've been figuring out everything step by step, reading, watching YouTube videos, and we just get it done, man. Like. For us too, it's to your point, it's about community too. Like we just want to build a community that wants to learn, because we thought about us, like how are other people out there doing or want to do what we're doing, right? So we want to showcase that, and we want to show people how we're doing this stuff, and that's why we're very open about what we do, how we do it, all that kind of stuff. Which is probably how those ants came about, Kevin.
No. You think someone stole the ant?
But we're just very open, and we really want to build a community that wants to learn. We're more about the education part and making sure that people out there have a voice and that they have a place where they can showcase basically their art or whatever it is that they're doing. I mean, for me, art is very personal. So I can tell you when I was like in high school, I remember all these artists around me that people will never see their art. And I feel like NFTs is a platform that showcases that, and it's something really good for artists. And some people out there will tell you, oh, you're not in there for the art. You're not in it for that, blah, blah, blah. Right. But I am in it for the art. Like I'm not in it for money. I spend more money than we've made ever. Right. Honestly, like I just think about that high school class that all these people were around me that were great artists, and you'll never see their art. Right. And I wish that NFTs existed back then. I'm glad it exists now because I'm sure there's classes out there of people that are, great artists that want to showcase that. And I feel like NFTs give them that platform, if that makes sense.
100%. My unsolicited advice is sourced from your own community. That's kind of where I came from. I kind of grazed over that, but like my origin story was that like I was a holder. I was a dude that was working from home. I joined this Discord. It was like the first Discord I was ever in. Now I'm in a million of them, but it was the first one I was ever in. And overnight, this project blew up. I reached out to the guys in charge and I was like, hey, like, I'm a dude. This is my face. This is my name.
I'm a dude.
And I was like, if you need me to like keep track of the Discord and make sure like people aren't posting dirty pictures, like let me know. And I did. I assumed a mod role and I did it without any... I just did it like without asking for anything for like 2 months. So I helped them in that regard. And, here I am.
That's interesting because we got, when we started a Discord, we get so much spam of people asking us to do something. And it's so hard to know like who's really trying to just be malicious here or not. So how did you differentiate yourself, or was somebody too trusting to just kind of hand the reins over to you?
I'm in a unique position. So like my background in YouTube and stuff, I actually knew the team prior to, but like for me to not really understand the people that are in your community first, I would say you are the delegator. Like you don't answer the question. The people that are asking for roles or perms that want to do things, don't get them. But the people that aren't asking but are there, understand your brand's voice, understand what you're building and like the vision and just like the community in general. Those are the people that can own roles and can own perms. They're going to be there to help onboard new users or holders. Those are going to be like your biggest asset building community.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Aaron, just to go back to your question a second, I think for better or worse, Miguel and I are our own target audience in terms of, the sort of thing that I'd want to watch is like the thing that we're trying to make. And I'm not a big Joe Rogan fan by any means, but he has talked about that, somebody told him you can't just interview people for 3 hours. No one's going to watch that. And he's like, well, that's what I like to do. So I'm just going to do that. And that has worked out for him, to some extent. And I think that's similar to us is like, hey, we like talking about other projects. We like talking, we like bullshitting about the news or showcasing other artists or just kind of building in public. And so that's the kind of content I would want to consume. And, there's so much in the YouTube feed that I can't watch it all. And sometimes there's just not enough. I'm like, I'm kind of like out of recent things. So I hope that we can kind of help supplement that for some people who are looking for other crypto NFT related content. And, that's why we're always trying to bring on other people just to kind of hear their story and kind of help spread that network out a little bit more.
You're not bridging the gap. You're filling in the gap.
That's right. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're the gap.
Yeah,
we're the gap.
I get excited, man, when I talk to other artists and creators. I just get excited about it. It's just natural. I just want to hear the story.
What communities are you guys in outside of your own? Like, what's your guys' favorite community? I think you mentioned you like the Bodoggle community. But Miguel, I'd love to know, like, what other art communities that you're in?
Like straight up art or NFTs?
I guess both. But I think there's some massive overlap for you. Correct me if I'm wrong. For both.
No, so Kevin and I are very heavy into the Saints of LA. Just because they're NFTs, just not the NFTs, but because their creator or their head or whatever, Casey, he's very like into the community. And not only that, but like when we joined, funny story how we even joined the community. It was a tactical move from us. So what happened was we were tweeting about it, and I think I said something along the lines like, I compared them to the D-Gods, and I was like, they're just another D-Gods or whatever. So I was like bat mouthing them. And then it ended up being that we ended up getting KC on the show, and we ended up talking to him, and he knew that it was a tactical move, right? Like when it happened, I got fully attacked by the community, like fully attacked. It was like, no, this is not what we are. You guys don't know us. You guys are not part of the community, yada, yada, yada. And then once we talked to KC and then, we kind of squashed everything, I became one of their biggest holders. I think I hold 21 NFTs from their community.
Wow.
But the embrace that we got from that community was just amazing. And I hold a lot of blue collar NFTs, and I haven't felt that passion in a long time, or I haven't felt that passion at all within the space. Like they're very tight. They're a very tight community. And they actually take care of you. Like they help you. They talk to you every day. We're in a chat with them every day. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool, man. And Casey's very involved. Like he talks every day. He's just an all around cool guy.
That's awesome.
I was very impressed by that.
Yeah.
I'm not too involved in any other communities. Saints of LA is probably the one that I spend the most time in, but I just don't have enough time to like read things happening on Twitter and be involved in Discord, let alone do things for our own project and, family and work. And so, this something you guys had talked about on your show a couple of days ago resonated with me. Like, I think, Tom, you had said almost like this burnout of crypto. And, I had a work trip earlier this week. I was gone for 3 days and I just could not catch up on anything crypto related. And then I was like, what did I miss? Does it even matter? Is it going to be relevant in 48 hours from now? Can I just catch up with whatever is happening next? So even for you guys, I'm curious, how do you balance that? You miss a day because you're busy or you're just working and you're not able to kind of be on the timeline the whole day. How do you balance, the intake versus the output.
Do you want me to start, Aaron?
Yeah, you go first.
It's easier to just not have money. Like, to just be fucking broke in this space. It's great. You just take in the news and you're like, oh, cool, that's fucking pumping. Cool, I don't have money, so it doesn't
that's
matter.
mostly what I do.
Oh my God.
I'm a spectator.
My fucking life is easy being poor. Yeah. It's fucking great. No, it's just, I think it's, so for me, like, honestly, that's a big chunk of it. I know I made a joke about it, but it's important. I think it's weird to see, and I'll bring this up again, culturally, like, what do people find fascinating? Like, I very much like people. My job is knowing people, having the voice of a community and those people. So when I get to see a space at large make a decision to go, I'm looking at OpenSea's page right now, let's pump art gobblers. Culturally, what changed in the course of a year and a half to make that, like, that's the news for me that I'm like, okay, like, is there a cabal? Like, what do I want to know? But when it comes to like burnout and stuff, I don't know. I'm comfortable in taking a step back. I have enough things that I work on that I can just go like, 24 hours without crypto is fine for me, because the space, in all fairness, you will miss news. We all know that. We've been in, like, we will miss news. But in another 24, that news is irrelevant. That's what I live by. Like, it's great. It's not going to change your life. Let's be honest. With the halvening, monstrous news. If you slept through it, who cares? It's over. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, now, today's another day. So it's that kind of realization that is as fast as the space and the news cycle moves within crypto, it moves fast enough that you're actually not missing anything if you're standing still. So.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron? A lot of FOMO?
No, but I think so. I have to word this one carefully. Hypothetically, if I were doing stuff, I would be doing stuff that were more farming related.
Yeah.
So like staking EtherFi, restaking Swell. Hypothetically, if I were doing that, that's easier. And I would hypothetically have to only do it every now and then. And like Carrot comes out and you could throw some of your staked Swell in there.
Hypothetical.
All hypotheticals, because you can't do them in the States. So
it's illegal.
Yep. Well, I don't know if it's illegal, but you can't do them in the States. But
this episode should be sponsored by a VPN. That would be fun.
Yeah. We need some legal protection.
But outside of all that, there is stuff like I keep up with. I think one of the only social farming things I've ever done is SOMO, and I did it, and I'm starting to get ragged on by like the co-founder. Sam commented on it while I was on
this.
And so,
good. I saw you. Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's funny. And I can't do it. I can't keep up with them. So I picked the ones that like I think are worth keeping up with or that I find value in. And a lot of the stuff for me, like prior to this, I played games for money. I was a competitive gamer, played professionally. And so I like the gaming sphere so much. And none of the people I played games with will touch crypto. But they'll play poker. They'll do like the poker stuff. And then they win and they're like, what do I do with this? I'm like, you have to get into crypto or just give it to me.
Of course. Those are the only two options, really.
Yeah. So I think I have a good system in place where, like, if I balance out, because I work a lot during the day, I balance out, like, work when I'm like, okay, I'll take a few minutes and I'll do, like, dailies. And I'll go and check those dailies and do them. The list has grown for dailies is what sucks because there's something else you got to be doing. But I curb the ones. I, like, cut them out if they're not fun. And if they're way too time-consuming, I won't do them. I think Tom's more ruthless. But I will say, I think Tom has made way less of a return than I have. So
100 for my time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because you bet on the NFTs and shitcoins, and I don't touch those. I barely ever purchase NFTs. So I purchased your guys' NFT, and then that was like the first one I think I minted in.
Yeah, so when Moon. No, I'm just...
Dude, well, no. At the end of this episode. You want Lambo? You got it.
You got a Lambo, it's fine. That's coming to you. No, I'm just kidding.
So it's just balance. It's easier for me, I think, than Tom. Tom gets too into it, and he's like, he beats himself up about it. I remember when he like, it was a couple weeks ago, right, Tom, where you were like doing
we've had like 3 episodes of The Break where I am just emotionally a mess because like I've lost like $400 in 6 days, like 6 hours, and I'm just like, I hate this space. I'm also way too culturally vested and plugged into like the people that are like, let's pump this thing. And I'm like, cool, ride or die. Like that's where I'm at. I am everybody's exit liquidity. Like it's always been that way. Cause I don't sell. If I showed you a snapshot of my like Phantom wallet right now. There's so little money in there that everything is just lines because they're all under a penny. Yeah. And I don't even want to talk about that.
That's your wallet, Kevin.
That's basically me.
That's you too? Yeah, cool.
Pretty much every NFT I've ever
owned is 1,000%, Kevin.
Yeah. I get like emotionally invested in some NFTs, which I know is not great. But one of the biggest ones for me was the Robotos community, which was started by Pablo Stanley. And I found that, and this was really one of my first intros to NFTs, was I was looking for Webflow videos on YouTube, and he was designing the Robotos website in Webflow. So I was watching him build the Webflow. I'm like, oh, I want to learn more about Robotos. Then he did all this live streaming of drawing out the Robotos in Figma. So I watched like the whole development of them, and you kind of like, you're spending hours watching just the development of it. Of course, you want to buy into it.
Sure.
And then I think I talked Miguel into getting some Robotos, and my brother got a Roboto, and like, it's zero now because they closed up the project. And so, I don't want to say it was a rug because it was, 2.5 years later, but they basically said we're shutting down. So it was hard to like see that just all go to waste. But again, I have that emotional connection. So sure, I lost a shitload of money on it, but it still means something to me.
That's a very tasteful answer.
I'll give you a
time, by the way.
For my wife, during the bull run, my wife saw, I think it was Crypto Chicks was really pumping, and there were celebrities owning Crypto Chicks, and she really wanted one. And I bought one for like 2.5 ETH or something, more than I spent on our wedding ring at that time.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because it was just pumping. It was going straight up in like a week. It had just like doubled. And I was like, all right, this is a good time to get in. 2.5 ETH. And then like a week later, it came out that they stole the art or something like that. And it has just completely crashed to zero. So, I gave that to my wife as like, here's your NFT. And she's like, what is this thing worth now? I'm like, nothing.
I think the end result of that story is that like your wife is into NFTs and crypto. Holy cow, that's great. My wife doesn't give a shit. She calls it magic internet beans. I've adopted the sentence from her because she calls it magic internet beans.
Well, listen, she's a supporter of me, right? She came to NFT NYC day one, along with Miguel and his girlfriend at the time too, and she was there to kind of support us. But, at some point pre-NFTs, I had showed her my Coinbase account, and she was very impressed with the size of my Coinbase account. But now, after losing it all on NFTs and it's all gone to zero, she's very upset about my Coinbase account.
Yeah, that's funny.
So
you know what it is? Kevin loves FOMO. He just jumps in without no research at all. And then he'll text me and he'll try to get me into it. And I'm like, dude, like, no, let me do some research. Who are these people? Like, who created this? He's like, nah, just get it. I already got one. I'm like, dude, no.
We should put Kevin and Tom in a room
we'll have to live with one of you guys after a week.
And you guys will be like,
our wives are gonna leave us, and we're not gonna have any place to stay. So
Tom has curbed his, and he'll be like, it could be nothing. Like that's what he'll say. He'll send me something. He's like, oh, it could be something.
That's exactly
but he'll like curb it a little bit now.
Yeah,
like,
real hedging your bets there.
Like the Muteo. Remember the Muteo?
I left every alpha chat that I was in on Twitter. Because I couldn't do it anymore. I was literally getting fed bullshit. They're like, buy this, and I would buy it, and they would just like, I get dumped on. I'm like, this isn't fair. Like, tell me about it earlier. They're not. Like that was strategic. So
you know something funny. We were talking about the Saints of LA and how welcoming their community is.
Yeah.
So recently, I think like a week or a week and a half ago, I bought a DeGots.
Oh, cool.
Right? I kept thinking that the community was very lively. I got nothing. Zero.
Really?
Yeah.
We met Kevin.
Yeah, we did prior to him leaving, though. Yeah, he ended up leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, he did leave.
He did leave, yeah.
I follow nothing about DeGods. Anything.
I think DeGods has had this is outside looking in, had a shift in their cultural relevance. I appreciate Frank's presence more now than I did a year ago. So, you might not have gotten something from it. I still feel like there's a lot of movement within the way that he's functioning within the DeGods community. Yeah. So,
no, I agree. I think that he's very active. I think I put a post either today or yesterday saying that he's very active, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But the community itself, like getting behind, just another holder just didn't happen at all. Like I remember when I first bought my first Saint, it was like a welcoming committee of like 8,000 people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's
a bunch of those smaller close knit communities that I found. Was it Narco Ducks? I think is one of them. It's a very just super niche, but like a lot of them, I would argue very much like the Lazy Lions were, where like prior to like their community was just incredibly strong and they latched on to new people, new members, and we're just like, oh, like you're in it now, like you're here, and it was just again that welcoming committee. And my argument with every project is like, make sure you guys had it. You guys had an audience that like when I shared, like I bought an ant, like there were people that were just like, welcome, like cool, like not you guys. Like it was just like other holders or whoever. Maybe it was your wife. I don't know. It was dope. It was cool. I was just like, dude, this is good. Like this is what this is about. We're in it now. So
yeah, you can feel good about being a part of it, right?
100%. Yeah.
So any, for what you do from a community standpoint, any insights to what makes a successful community that you could just tell us for free without charging us a consulting fee?
Yeah, I would never.
Do you see our community is kind of like, do they shift as well with the meta to say, now we care about this. We don't care about this anymore? That's a really good
question. That's a really tough question to answer though, too, because like, I think setting realistic expectations is the key to longevity in who's going to be present in your community for the long run. So giving them exactly what you're building, like you're very much building in public, I think you're ahead of the game. People know what's happening and they can expect what's going to happen, and that's healthy. They have something to look forward to, or in all fairness, something to not look forward to. Yeah. And then there's a dialogue. I think honestly, just being able to be there and be a person and be a presence goes miles within this space. On top of that, if you are looking to constantly grow or provide that value back to people, monetary anything, whether it's stuff or experience or whatever, that's what people want. They want ROI, unfortunately. People like things. Yeah.
Or exclusivity. If you can make them feel like they're part of something above themselves. And my dogs are barking, so I'll mute here in a second. But that's
a good point, Aaron. It's a funny one. So like I don't have a lot of pull over like the finances of what QM is. Very, very little anyway. But as far as community goes, like I always try to like dig up like what can I give people that are always around. So obviously we use like an XP system within our Discord. Every person that hit a certain level can get a custom like emoji. So if you say their name, like their emoji pops up. We also have obviously like gated chats for certain levels. Sure. Come Christmas, I literally sent those people within those higher levels little presents. Like there's little things that you can do for those core members, because what they're going to do is they're going to share it with their audience or their Twitter account or back in chat, and people are like, oh, I missed that. Like, how did I get that? I'd be like, gotta be active, man. So it's those little things, just little, what do I want to say? Like little acts of kindness, honestly. Just even if it's to one person, the ripple effect is real within Web3 for sure.
I like to try to get them to eat the dog food, so to speak, where they're buying into the community and the company.
Oh, I thought you meant really making me dog food. I was like, that sounds great.
That's what he sends. He sends them dog food.
Yeah, I send them some dog food and I have them eat it and film them. They got to film it and some of it. No, but like for Mint Pass, we're doing it like Mint Pass is a company we raising money. We have a lead, right? Like we've already raised around prior. And so we're moving in that direction where we want travel influencers to be part of that journey with us. So we're offering them like not only paid, whatever it's called, affiliate, however you want to frame them, but we give them equity as well. Like we have different tiers of followers and what they're willing to do, similar to the way advisors work in startups. So, but I look at like, that's why I think like Goblin Town doing that burn of the NFT to equity moves the space forward. I just disagreed with the valuation that they put on it. So, but that's a whole nother story.
They also, they excluded their community because it was capped, which is incredibly unfortunate.
Yes. But that's normal for a race.
That's sad from them because they really started out very strong. I mean, I remember
they did, but you have to keep in mind, like, part of the meme was that they were a free mint. Like, they owe you nothing. That was what I liked about it, is like, there was originally no Discord. There was no promise. There was no roadmap. So, like, what you were signing up for was nothing. And I think that's great. Yeah.
We had looked at their website as inspiration on our first version of our website because their website was great. There was a lot of like Easter eggs of just fuck yous in there and, fuck off and whatever. This isn't what you're looking for. And I was like, I love that they could just be so brazen about it. And that was part of their shtick, right? They changed their meta at some point, the metadata at some point.
Yeah, the middle finger.
Just the middle finger, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really playing with the technology, and I liked leaning into that. So I admired that. But they all seem like a bunch of degen, so I apologize if that's the case.
They're actually not, which is the weird part. I mean, yeah, Aaron.
I disagree.
Do you think they're degens?
They are degens? Yeah. Good chunk of them are. Do you remember what we were doing on New Year's?
What?
This year? Yes, me and you.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They are degens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an offline story.
We'll tell you.
Yeah, we have to tell you. We'd have to tell you. I was up till like 4 a.m. with that one.
Tell you
that one I can't tell you live. Yeah.
So Aaron, curious about the gaming connection. Why hasn't gaming kind of kicked off the way we've been promised for the past 2 years as it relates to NFTs? What's not clicking for non-crypto people?
I think it's a multitude of things, but let me put it to you this way. If I were to say what are the popular games that you play, you would label like 5 to 10 games, and those games have either A, had a community for 20 plus years, are sequels, or broke the mold. Right? How hard is it? So that's what I think people don't understand. It's so hard to get a community in a game and to have people come back and play. The market's oversaturated. A ton of games come out every year, and there's always something new. There's always a new hype cycle, and a lot of them are pushed by streamers these days, right? And Web3 communities can't farm those. The Web3 problem is that you have people that don't know anything about gaming. They're like, well, what do we do? Let's make a game. And they make a game. Here's the second problem. Outside of all of that, games take time to make. And so people were minting and being like, we're going to build a game. Then 2 to 3 years went by. And they were like, oops, we ran out of money. They didn't plan it, and they lost their community. So I think the games that we're going to see pop up this year might have a chance. Shrapnel is a good example. It was built by a bunch of game execs. The people we're working with on Clementine's Nightmare, they're all from, I don't know if they're public, so I won't say, but they're all from the biggest advertising agency in the States. Right, in Web3, in gaming, right? They've worked on the biggest projects ever. And so these are the types of games that I think will see success. I've been playing a couple on my phone, like casually. Cypher Odyssey, it's actually just a good game. I play it because it's fun. Bubble Rangers from Imaginary Ones, they took another line and they went super simple but polished, right? In that I can play like, I'll go to the bathroom and play a game. You know what I mean? And then I'll
such a
farm
good
more
game.
points than Tom.
My kids love it. My kids play that game. Yeah, it's really good. They did and there's other mobile-based like Web3 games that have done an absolute trash job because it gets boring. So
Juice Tycoon is one of the trash ones. I can't play it.
I've heard terrible things about that.
But they're pushing games out at least, right?
That's cool. You can't hate on them for actually trying to make
push games out. I get it.
I think about those games that are pixel art, and I know there's an appeal to that, but I also feel like if that's the easy route, then somebody's just trying to get something delivered, even if it looks like shit and feels like shit. And I think that's what turns people off, because I've never found a Web3 game that I really spent time with. And it's because every time I try one, it's like, I'm not feeling this.
I like Sunflower Land.
You should play Sunflower Land. Yeah.
I've been playing Sunflower Land for a while. Pirate Nation's pretty fun. We met the team.
I love Pirate Nation now.
Yeah, they added, because they just keep building it up. It's the other half of Zynga that didn't go to Gala Games. So it's proof of play, so they have game experience.
Yeah.
As far as like, and it's just enough of a game that like you can play it for like 15 or 20 minutes every day, and you're just like, this isn't tedious.
I would do more in the Gauntlet, Tom. I would keep playing. Like, I like the Gauntlet. I think
me too.
It's
yeah,
fun.
because it makes you a better player.
Yeah, I
me
like
too.
it.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah, it's good. Sunflower Land is good too. They keep building it as well. That game has changed drastically over the past year and a half that I've been playing it.
Yeah,
so it's nice to see movement. So,
hey, you guys mentioned VCon. Did you guys meet Gary?
Yep.
Yeah.
How was he? Was he cool?
Super.
Gary
cool.
is the most intimate starer in the world. When he looks in your eyes, he's actually looking at your soul. He's the most intimate person. He's so nice. I've met Gary on a handful of occasions in the creator space. I did like full-time eBay for a while, and Gary was doing that like garage sale shtick. I think he really likes it, by the way. I love it. Like, I love garage selling. Anyway, I tweeted him that, like, my favorite, he was like, asked something. He's like, what's the favorite thing you've ever sold on eBay? And I sold an empty peanut butter jar back in my heyday. It was my favorite thing I ever sold. It was like from the 70s, and I made like $15 on an empty peanut butter jar. I told him that when I met him in person, and he remembered who I was. Wow. Gary has like the memory of an elephant, and he's just like the most kind person in the world. So yeah, nothing but nice things to say about my interactions with him. Also, his dad is dope. Yeah, Gary's dad is so.
He's
cool.
a New Yorker, right? He's a
they're all
Islander, I think.
Yeah, I keep trying to get his attention on Twitter.
What's that?
I said I keep trying to get his attention on Twitter. It's just
what. Let me ask you this: what's your approach?
Oh, dude, I've been tweeting at him for like years now, trying to.
Can I give you some free advice and then cut this up into a short and like repost this? Just sign up for Gary's community on like your cell phone. It's basically his cell phone number. So when he blasts out like text messages, text him back. He'll answer.
No way.
I swear to God.
Interesting.
I'll give you his number if you want. Just like I think it's called Community. I think it's like called Community 1 or something like that. It's a text-based blast. So he's like, I'm going live on Twitch, and like when he does that, text him back, and he like goes through and reads them. Yeah.
Wow,
that's pretty cool. I think I told Miguel this. What prompted me to like go buy an NFT after having just kind of been watching from the sideline was, like I said, I work at a hotel. He was speaking at an event at my hotel. And I was like, I just want to go see what he's talking about. So I'm like behind the curtain and listening. And he's telling people, this is early 2021. So this is like June 2021. And he's telling people take like 2 hours just to learn a little bit about NFTs and just go buy one. He's like, just so you understand what the experience and the process is like. He's like, don't dump all your money into it. Just try it. Just understand what this process and this experience is like. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it, Gary. You've convinced me. I'm going to go buy an NFT.
That's good.
And then I signed up for OpenSea and lost all my money. It was great.
Me too. Yeah. Twinsies.
Yeah. Now I just, I have like pennies left, that are just kind of sitting in my Phantom wallet and my MetaMask. And Miguel's like, oh, go buy this thing for like 0.001. I'm like, I can't.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough for gas.
Yeah. To buy our own ant, I had to like buy money from crypto.com to like put in there.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all part of it.
It's all right.
Let me ask you guys this. If are there any communities that you're actually looking at like joining? I know you just said you joined DGods. Or is there anything that you're like, I like the ecosystem or I like the people, and that's enough for me to watch from afar until I can join? I've been very clear about like I like Yuga. I know a lot of people maybe aren't super pumped about Yuga, but I like Yuga, and that's one of mine from afar for a while. But I'm curious about you guys.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know about Kevin, but Kevin knows that I'm part of Doodles. I'm part of Pudgy. I'm part of Yuga.
Nice.
So looking now at the projects that are out there, like nothing really calls my attention right now. I don't know if anything calls Kevin's attention, but for me, I think there's not really nothing out there right now that I can think of.
I can respect that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do better, Web3.
Yeah, right. Y'all need to get your shit together.
Yeah,
no,
right.
I could see myself getting a little Pudgy in the near future.
Cool.
Because I don't know, I believe in the process that Luca is going through and kind of building it out, and his vision, and he does this YouTube channel as well, sort of like this building in public sort of thing. And he'll make these 10-minute videos every couple of weeks just showing the behind the scenes, and it's really interesting, and it's just kind of exciting for us to see somebody doing it well in the NFT space. And legitimately, like once they launched in Walmart, Miguel and I were going out buying some stuff. My kid sleeps with his stuffed Pudgy now. It's like it means something to him.
Oh yeah, that's a cute one.
It's cool to see it transcend from this digital form into this physical form, and it resonate with kids. And Miguel and I are always talking that people at my work, they're always sending these gifts of the Pudgies. I'm like, do you understand what that is? Like, this is an NFT that you're sending, right? It's not just a funny image. So it's cool to see it really come full circle like that.
Yeah, they don't even label themselves as Web3 on Instagram. They don't even use the word digital. They say collectible.
Yeah,
so they've done a really good
website.
Job.
That we took from them a little bit. We've changed some of our wording on our website as well for that.
Smart.
For digital collectibles.
That is very smart.
I personally think that what they're doing with their community is just freaking amazing. Like, I think that they're doing everything right. Because what they're doing is they're basing everything on education, and toys, which are importing kids into NFTs. That it's just good to see that they're I don't even know how to say it. They know how to market really well, right? So they're catering to kids, and kids when they grow up, guess what? That's what they're going to be into, NFTs and crypto.
Funny, out of all the pudgy stuff that we got from New York, the one thing that my daughter likes the most is the wrist wiener, like the slap bracelet with like the hot dog pudgy on it.
My nephews, they love it.
They love it. My daughter wears it to like school, and I think it's funny. The kids love it. She's like, so many people thought it was great, and I was like, yeah. Little do they know it's a magic internet bean thing. So yeah, I love it.
Not only that, like when you go to Walmart and you buy the toys for the kids, right? At first it's a bit complicated for a kid to get how to play the game that comes with the toy. So a parent has to learn how to do that. Yep. So at the same time, the parent and the kid is learning. So I think that the guy's a genius marketer. Like, he just knows how to get people into Web3, and that's what he's doing silently. He's just doing that. He's teaching people Web3 silently.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It's crazy.
He's super nice too. Even at the event, he was front and center before you even got into the building. He was out there like shaking hands and kissing babies. He's just a very present founder, which is super refreshing and dope. So kudos to Luca for sure.
Yep. Listen, guys, before we wrap up, let me toss it to each one of you. What's something you're looking forward to in the Web3 space? And Aaron, I'll start with you if you've got something on your mind.
No, yeah. Look, I won't show my own things here. Obviously, I'm excited about all the stuff we're building. But no. I think outside of this is we're going to see a lot of consolidation. So you can't have this many chains. And like I mentioned Scale earlier, right? Like, Scale's awesome team. I'm super pumped. We're working with them. I'm excited for that launch. But they've done a good job, I think, of quietly pivoting from being a place where you can launch blockchains to having hubs that people can utilize, right? Because they're realizing people aren't going to always launch their blockchains. I think we're going to see consolidation of chains, consolidation of tools, consolidation of games, right? It's not going to, and we're seeing that. I think Yuga having Heavy Metal and the other one, Legends of Mara, get acquired. That's the first level of consolidation, and we're going to see more and more projects do that. So I'm pumped for it. Too much to keep track of right now.
It is a lot. I think it was good that they did that as an outsider. Miguel, maybe you feel differently as a holder, but I think it's good that they're going to try and focus on the thing that they did better themselves, right? As creating the culture around the Bored Apes versus trying to expand, so quickly and so much. And I'm sure it all looked great on paper, but when you try and get into that world, like, it's so confusing. What is the point of all of this, and how much work do I have to do, and where does it end?
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
So what's funny that they keep putting out like all these things to do, and Kevin is always like, dude, you got to do this with them. Like, you own an ape, like, get in there. And I'm like, I don't feel like doing none of that. It's too much, dude. Like, I don't want to do that.
You know why? I know why.
Ecosystems are meant for you. Like, I'm siding with him on this one. Like, those people are there. They are part of your community. They are there to help support you in what you're building and doing, for sure. So take advantage of that, man.
That's true.
I agree. And I think it's because you keep it in a cold wallet that it's harder for you. It's not so readily available to just kind of connect it. And
send all the claims.
Tom will manage your.
I'll do it. I'll manage it for you. I'll change my name tomorrow. You'll never. No, I'm just kidding.
I know what town you live in, and maybe the population.
Yeah, you'll never find me. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. Aaron knows my social security number. I don't care.
I do. I can recite it.
Wow. Okay. I think Miguel might have mine too, but that's okay.
That's funny.
All right, Tom, what are you looking forward to in Web3? Short term, long term, whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, we've been in it long enough that like we know that it's cycles. We all live in crypto cycles. The world is a big cycle. I'm excited for NFTs to come back. So where it was my entry into the space. I'm just waiting for it to pick up steam again, and for people to be as passionate about the art, about the culture, about the communities as they once were 2 years ago. And I never want to lose another dime to shitcoins. I'm just excited for that moment. So that can be a long, it can be a short term. I want that community based art like vibe to come back. So
yeah, Miguel,
Agree.
what are you looking forward to?
For you to stop buying shit NFTs and trying to make me go in them with you.
You're more excited about than I am.
No, man. To Tom's point, like the same thing. I think that I'm looking forward to just the NFT coming back up. Again, like having the importance that it once had. But I also want to see it be more about the artist, right? Like I understand evolving the technology, and that resonates a lot with me, and I do like everything that happens with the tech. But at the same time, like let's bring it back home to the artist and kind of put that shine on those people. And I'm not just saying that selfishly because I'm an artist, but in all nature, like I really like that. It's what brought me into NFTs in the first place. So I think that we need to bring it back home.
I'm gonna circle back to something I think one of you had asked, which community would we, are we interested in joining? And I didn't say at the time, but everything that Jack Butcher does, I'm kind of a sucker for. From the design standpoint of it, it's not art in the traditional sense that we think about like NFT art, but it's the thought that he puts into some of his designs is just so inspiring from a designer standpoint in that view that I think he has done a good job of pushing the space forward in many ways and trying new mechanics and even utilizing the community to push those mechanics. So I'm interested in whatever the next meta is, right? We had the open editions for a while and that was cool and that was fun. And then we moved on. Now we're doing this weird shitcoin farming and hopefully we'll move on very soon. But whatever that next version is, to think that people are, creating something new and pushing this technology forward, I think that's what excites me.
Me too. Ready for the next one.
That's right. Let's keep it going. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate you joining. Thank you for everyone who's been watching this whole time. Where can we find you, Aaron? Where do you want to find?
I only do that because I know you hate it.
It's cheap.
Yeah. Oh, I would have been fucking with that the whole time.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
He hates it. Kevin hates it when I do that.
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna edit that out. Slice the show right there. Aaron, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter so you can see me retweet all these things from all of the companies I work with. At Guyett Aaron. You're better off DMing me. I'm pretty responsive. So if you have tech questions or you want to know more about something that I've got coming out over there, and then follow Minpass. We're about to launch. Sign up, minpass.com. We actually have that domain. We had to acquire it though. We couldn't get it like you did. We had to acquire it prior.
Yeah, it's a good domain.
Yeah, thanks. So, but yeah.
Love it. Thank you. And Tom, where can people find you?
Twitter is the best spot to hit me up directly. So at Tom over Chaplin. You want to hear a funny story? Yes. I think I might have talked about this on the break. Somebody reached out to me like a month ago and they wanted to sell me at Tom.
Ooh.
Fuck it. I'm not gonna lie, like wanted it. I also like maybe egotistically think like if I had at Tom, I could be so fucking famous. I'd be like, I'm at Tom on Twitter.
How much was it?
$10,000.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not.
You sell some NFTs.
I'd have to sell them all.
You'd still be short.
I'd still be short. But no, yeah, Tom over Chaplin on Twitter. And I'm super responsive there. And then Quarter Machine at Quarter Machine. I think it's just at Quarter Machine, maybe .io.
It's at Quarter Machine, I believe.
It's at Quarter Machine. I think we have Quarter Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so give us a follow there, and then obviously from there, go through the registered links and hop in the Discord. Say hi to me. I literally live in there. Like that's my job, and I try to have fun. So I hang out every morning. I listen to books. I listen to Twitter Spaces. One of my favorite morning Twitter Spaces is Coffee with Captain. So that's what I listen to. Yeah, I love those guys. We had NFT Bark on the break when he launched the book too. So super fun. Just good dudes. But come hang out and be a part of our jam and just vibe, man. We're always looking to meet new people. Whether you want to buy an NFT or not, like just come hang out. We're always looking for new blood, man.
Very welcoming. Thank you. Miguel, where should people go to find us?
At Rebel Ants .com. No,
not .com. Don't go to .com.
I'm going to .com right now.
We don't have the .com because you were too late on it. But
no. That is like the shittiest website from like 1997. Like that is.
Oh my god! It's a WordPress site.
I'm telling. I'm afraid to even ask somebody to buy it because I'm sure they're going to want to charge us something crazy. But it's so shitty that someone is just holding.
They're not using it.
No, I know. I'm gonna offer them $1,000 of Miguel's money. That's what I'm gonna do.
I love making offers with Tom's money.
I had thought about buying a bunch of domains for like businesses opening in my town, but they would probably just go and like add like an NJ after it or something, and then not be interested in the one that I have, and then I'd be stuck with all these stupid $10 domains. So
yeah,
there's sites where you can flip them. So
yeah,
there's a whole domain marketplace. Flippa. There's a few.
I had a couple of good domains in my time that one of them I let go, which I don't think we talked about this, but it was 13fh.com, and it was like a sweet 4-character domain. I don't know why I let it go. I really should have done better.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it. Hopefully we can reconnect soon and just kind of talk some shit for another hour or so, and love to get you back on the show.
Always, guys. Great. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Yep, I'm gonna end the show. Why don't you guys hang on for a second? But everyone
Absolutely.
else who's watching, head over to rebelants.io, Miguel. It's our website. And you can mint a Rebel Ant Battle for the Colony right there. Like and subscribe to this channel. God damn it. And we'll see you later.